We spent $100 million fighting crooked Joe Biden. And then all of a sudden, they decide to take him out and put somebody else in. She never got one vote. I hear he's going to make a comeback at the Democrat convention. He's going to walk into the room and he's going to say, I want my presidency back. I want another chance to debate Trump. I want another chance.
Okay, there you go. There's Trump, and this is not the first time he's engaged in this weird fan fiction about how an aggrieved Joe Biden is gonna come back and want to debate me because I really want to debate him because I am scared of Kamala Harris. And that is exactly what you saw there. Trump is truly, just the copium is through the roof here. Again, defending his former opponent, President Joe Biden. But despite that, he wrote on Truth Social that actually, I'm doing really well in the presidential race. Just in case you had any questions, leading in almost all of the real polls. And this despite the Democrats unprecedentedly changing the primary winning candidate, sleepy Joe Biden, midstream with a candidate, Kamala Harris, who failed to get even a single primary vote. I mean, she was on the ticket, my guy, but okay. There you go again. Somehow this was never Joe Biden's decision. He didn't actually do that. He was secretly cooed, and we need to rally around him. This is the weirdest line yet. And how about them polls? Well, a new New York Times Siena College poll just conducted has Kamala Harris up by 4 points in 3 key swing states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. So no, your campaign isn't going great. And to prove that, Donald Trump now has a new conspiracy theory about why there's so many people at Harris Walz rallies. That's because there aren't. All of this is AI. You see the things they can do, it's all AI. So he posted the following fake picture on Truth Social, or not fake, real picture, just fake conclusions. Chuck Calesto, breaking report, Harris campaign busted using fake crowd photo at campaign rally stop. So this is a picture of Air Force 2, that's right, in Detroit at a hangar, and there is a crowd there. And then on the right, apparently there's not a crowd because in the circled red, you can see there's no reflection except distance, dog. Like there's a big distance between that part of the plane and where those people, they weren't allowed to actually like get up into the landing gear of Air Force 2. You realize that, but that apparently is part of it. But it's beyond that. There is apparently AI. He also continued saying, has anyone noticed that Kamala cheated at the airport? There's nobody at that plane, and she AI'd it and showed a massive crowd of so-called followers, but they didn't exist. Now, shock of all shocks, Donald Trump is wrong. He's wrong. Multiple news reports broadcasted the event via live stream where the crowd is clearly visible. Photographers from the AP and many other national and international outlets captured the attendees. Local news reported that about 15,000 people filled the hangar, and the crowd was spilling out onto the tarmac and cheering as Air Force 2 arrived. Also, look at their hands, people. The hands are very well done. AI just can't do hands. And I will say this, it is just kind of ironic to me that Donald Trump is calling everything AI when actually tech billionaires who are putting tons of money into AI, rolling it out left and right in places that we don't even want them, in jobs that are actually undermining real jobs right now, that are using freshwater resources, because AI actually happens with massive data processing centers that have to be cooled down with fresh water. Oh my God, and yet we're being told to limit our energy consumption during the summer. All those billionaires are donating to his campaign. So it's just kind of rich that if there was anyone to use AI, in fact, he has, and a lot of it, it's Donald Trump, but he's got to find some angle.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it. Okay, so there's two things here. One is the madness and the other is the politics. So on the madness front, I've been saying for a while, Biden's too old, Trump is too crazy. So it's, oh, well, that doesn't seem fair to Trump. Really, guys, Joe Biden's gonna come back? All right, I don't know what your excuse is, but I know MAGA always has an excuse. He was taken out of context. He was joking. He was trolling. He was, fan fiction, whatever. He gets off on it. I don't know. You can have any explanation you like, but Joe Biden's not coming back, and a presidential candidate saying that looks weird and ridiculous. Why would you? What a weird thing to say. You can imagine if Kamala Harris is like, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to run against Donald Trump. I think Mike Pence is going to come back, and he's going to take over the ticket, and I'm going to run against him." We'd all be like, "She lost her mind," right? Or if she, George W. Bush is going to come back. It doesn't matter. Like, and we wouldn't say, "Oh, she was just joking. She was just trolling. She was just this. She was that." We'd say that's mental because it's mental. There's no other way to describe it.
Yeah.
Now, on the substance of that one, on the substance, Kamala Harris didn't get any votes. This is illegitimate. Okay, I kid around and say, hey, I got more votes for president than Kamala Harris did, which is true, right? But it comes with an enormous but. She was the vice president on a winning ticket in 2020 where they got 81 million votes. So that's why it's a joke, because it's not relevant. The 81 million votes is enormously relevant, okay? But that's not how any of this got decided anyway. Look, there should have been a primary. As you know, I was in the primary, that sham of a primary the Democrats had, and I thought it should, and the whole purpose of me entering was so they could have a real primary. Like if anybody could make any kind of movement against Biden, I wanted all the governors in, like Governor Tim Walz and all the other governors, because we should have had a real primary, but that ship sailed, and it sailed because of Joe Biden. He controls the DNC, et cetera, and he didn't want to get out until the debate. So after he gets out, Kamala Harris actually won the nomination. Now, does she have an enormous advantage because Biden endorsed her and she's already the vice president and Democrats were nervous about the transition, et cetera? Of course, but she did collect those delegates. Now, I wanted someone to go win those delegates and she won them. So it was pretty easy for her to win them, but she did. I didn't win them, Marianne Williamson didn't win them, Governor Newsom didn't win them, she won them. So you can cry about that all day long, but it's just crying. There was no laws broken. There was the best process you could have under the circumstances of a presidential candidate that withdrew way too late. So, and what happened to all of your conspiracy theories? I thought, Obamas are secretly controlling everything and that Michelle Obama was gonna be the candidate. Well, it didn't happen, so all of a sudden, no, that doesn't count. So when all your conspiracy theories are wrong, that's inconvenient and we never talk about them again, right? And if the Obamas were controlling, they definitely wanted Josh Shapiro as VP. So why isn't he the VP? Oh, oops, there goes another one that you were wrong about. So now when it gets to the AI conspiracy, come on guys, come on. Again, you're hardcore MAGA, you're hopeless. You believe every part of this. And you know what, who created the AI, Franny? It was 2,000 mules sitting on their computers. And they created all the AI images, et cetera. Guys, there were reporters there. Okay, I know, every reporter's a liar. Okay, mainstream media frames things wrong. They don't just invent crowds. They don't show up in a hangar where there's no crowd and then they say, oh yeah, there was 10,000 people there. That's not how it works.
This shot is just incredible. Like, yep, that's a lot of people.
Well, there's a lot of mules to create that AI, that's why. Okay, come on guys, come on. Your guy's a lunatic. How can you not see he's a lunatic? So if you're hardcore MAGA, you're gonna believe everything he says. There was no airplane either. She actually rode in on a unicorn that turned into a pumpkin. Why not? Because we're making stuff up. And by the way, Josh is one of our YouTube members, and he wrote in on the earlier story we were doing about Trump, and he said, yeah, as a right winger, yes, I'd prefer a better candidate, LOL. Yeah, if you're a right winger, you should be 10 times angrier than I am. Why are you making up crazy stuff? Why are you ruining any chance of winning? So hey, look, I don't want him to win because he's a lunatic. So, but if he wants to prove that he's a lunatic for the next 3 months, I'm happy to have it. Makes the choice very, very easy.
Yeah, and it also preps his audience, his voters for his loss in November. Like, oh, those ballots are AI, the people are AI, look at their hands, that photo is, like, now that we're in an AI, the dawn of AI, it's just another way for him to cry, wolf and say that everyone's cheating, and it's just AI. Like, watch how he'll blame AI if he does lose in November. But it's funny because the fan fiction of this entire election, it's already been written. it happened. Have we not lived in wilder times than the last month of our political lives? Like, this is insane. A lot of us didn't think it would happen. Thank God it did. I think this is where it goes. I mean, who knows, another J6. One can only hope, just for the history books. No, but like, everything's already happened. So, and it's funny because it's like, just because your candidate's not really in this and is whining and finds new ways to whine, don't blame us. That's on your candidate. We have other things to blame our candidate for, and we can get into that now.
Yeah, okay, last thing here. What does it mean that she's cheating by doing AI pictures? Even if it was true, how is that cheating? Is it cheating? Maybe it's cheating on a picture, but that has nothing to do with the election. That has nothing to do with polling. That has nothing to do with the voting. But this clown thinks that marketing and media is everything. So he thinks, well, this is helping her win the media wars. So I think it's cheating. So I'm going to start crying preemptively.
Then he can't do it too. He has rolled out images that are AI with him like sitting on a stoop with a bunch of black voters. Elon Musk last week retweeted a video that was basically Kamala Harris in an AI Kamala Harris saying, "I'm a DEI hire." So where's that? Isn't that election interference from your boy Elon? No.
Let alone Trump with all those fan pictures of him as Rocky or Rambo where he's cut and ripped and muscular, etc. But you don't see us crying about that and go, that's cheating, you're helping Trump win. That's what you look like, guys. It looks effing pathetic.
It should be illegal. You cannot manipulate someone's voice and like roll that out.
Oh, giant difference. Yeah. Let me be clear. So him saying they AI'd the picture, which is of course mental, it's not even close to true. But that's not, who cares? He can say that all day long. Like there's nothing illegal or wrong about that. And the Trump guys putting him as Rocky or Rambo, that's totally fine. Nobody cares about that. What Franny's talking about is when you make it seem like Kamala Harris said things she didn't say, or Donald Trump said things he didn't say.
Exactly.
That's unacceptable. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.